What's your daily routine and how do you plan your day? Do I have a boyfriend? My forehead might be really foreheading while I put my head down, but it's all right. The light's going to be glistening on it. I'm actually lying to you guys. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, notification bell, and comment any videos you think I should do or could do better on my videos, because you know your girl always loves a bit of feedback. So today, literally, we're not doing Amazon, we're not doing businesses, we're doing like get to know me. Some of you might be like, there's some things I really want to know about Shola. That might be to do with relationship, business, money, family, my mental health, me, whatever it is. Like, do I have a boyfriend? How long have I been with him? Do I run a business? What are my failures? How do I overcome family? How do I mix family? How do I balance family with money? There's all these things that you guys want to know. So let's just jump straight into this video. I've got my phone, which has all the questions that you guys have asked me. And I did a poll on social media. I think it was on Instagram. Yeah, a poll on Instagram where I asked you guys to literally send in some questions that you guys want me to answer. And we're going to jump right in with the questions. So let's go. So one of the questions are from Drippy AB, and he's asked me, how long have I been in a relationship and how do I balance being in a relationship with business? So I met my boyfriend like just over 4 years ago. Then we got into a relationship. I'm lying. I'm actually lying to you guys. I met him just over 3 years ago and we got into a relationship quite quickly, if I'm honest with you guys. So how do I balance it with being in a relationship is that we're both entrepreneurs. So it's not like one of us is an entrepreneur, one of us aren't. We're both entrepreneurs, which means that when we go through different struggles of like with our business or we want to grow our business, we understand that it takes time. We're also on the same foot in terms of like we have our own separate office in our house. He has his office, I have my office. When it's work time, it's literally strictly work time. So we lock ourselves into our room and we literally just work. And sometimes we bounce ideas off of each other. So even though our businesses are very separate, they're also very the same in terms of we do things together. If I have an idea that I think he can benefit from, I'll tell him. If he has an idea that I can benefit from, I'll tell him. So that's kind of how we balance it in terms of the business stuff and the relationship. But one thing we do definitely try to do is have a date night every single week. That's not necessarily going out every single week, but that could be watching a movie, that could be making a cake, making a meal together, or literally going out. And one of the things that we definitely have is the Adventure Challenge book, which I'll add a link to down below, which you guys can go and purchase. Basically, you scratch off a different event you scratch off a different event depending on whether you want to stay in, go out, and it tells you things to do. For instance, the last one we done was going into 3 different restaurants and having a different thing at each restaurant. So one was a starter, the next one was a main, and a dessert at 3 different restaurants. And I have to say, it was definitely really, really fun. I'll add a video if I can of the restaurants that we went to. Okay, another question is, my forehead might be really foreheading while I put my head down, but it's all right. The light's going to be glistening on it. So someone says, Neymar said, what's your daily routine and how do you plan your day? Now, I'm not going to be one of the people who's going to be like, okay, so I wake up at 5 a.m. and I do my journaling, and then I have my breakfast, which is grapes, bananas, and this, and then I go for my morning jog. I'm not like that. I used to be like that, and I felt like, okay, structure is good, routine is good, but I left my job so I could kind of get away from that stuff. I want to be in control of my time and just do what I feel like doing on that day. That's not to say that I don't plan my day. I absolutely plan it in terms of to-do lists and things I need to do or get done within the day, but I try not to be so structured in terms of rigid 5 a.m. I have to do this, 6 a.m. I have to do this, 7 a.m. I have to do that. So one thing I definitely do in terms of my routine, that's like a shit emoji here, shit. Okay, cool. One of the things I do on my daily routine is that I will wake up. Okay, I'm lying. I'm really trying to make this sound really good. I don't have a daily routine. The honest thing is I don't have a daily routine. I wake up, I go down to my desk. Well, I wake up before I go downstairs, I have a shower, go down to my desk, do my to-do list, and I work. And I sometimes even forget to have lunch or breakfast until like 1 or 2 o'clock. So there's no daily routine. The answer to that is there's none. I'm not gonna sit down and lie. I don't do a daily routine. Boom, next question. So another question from Ghana's Rule is life after the success, entitlement. Now, when he wrote this question to me, I was like, what do you mean by that? And I sent him a question mark, and he was more like,
how did you find life after being successful? And with your family, did they feel more entitled in terms of asking for money, etc.?
So I'm luckily enough to have my immediate family that don't ask me for absolutely anything, and they're more the type of family that would work for free to make sure that I can make more money. For instance, my mum, when I caught COVID while filming for Channel 4, came down from London, went into my warehouse and was prepped over 250, maybe even 300 units to go off to Amazon's fulfillment center without even asking for a penny. And that's why I do try to give to my family as much as I can. Christmas, birthdays, or just even when I'm with them, just take them out, because they aren't a family who are like, you know what,
you'll go to university and you'll be a lawyer.
And then when I don't become a lawyer, they're now like, okay, you're a failure. And then when I make money, it's like,
I want a new handbag, I want this, I want that.
I'm not African, but yeah, I'm just imagining if my parents were African. But yeah, so my family are not like a family where they ask me for anything. They just want me to do the best that I can, and they know that there's going to be a time where I can literally buy them houses, buy them land in the Caribbean, and then like have a whole business which is just dedicated to them, for them to generate an income. So yeah, my immediate family are not like that. My brother as well, like even if he has or hasn't got any money, he's more of a person who would be like, give me a way to make money and show me how I can make money rather than put money in my pocket. So yeah, although I have had some like distant cousins try to like sneak up on me and be like, hey, can I have some money? You're doing really well. And I'm like, no, you cannot, sir. You cannot. Also, to add on that point as well, I think is really important is that in our community, we're also a community which generally feel like when we make a bit of money, whether it's millions or a couple of hundreds, that we have to give to our family straight away. But you need to understand, in order to help your family, you have to help yourself first. And don't prematurely start helping your family. Even when you do hit a epiphany,
that you
I think that's the word, or where you do hit a lot of money, still act like you're broke and quadruple that money and make more, because you'll be able to provide more for your family. So don't prematurely help your family. But luckily enough, as I said, my family don't have it, they're not entitled. They kind of just let me do my thing, and they still help me for free when they can. So that's Gunner's Rules question answered. This was meant to be short, but I chat too much. Like, I'm going through the questions so quick. So your journey with Amazon. So in terms of my journey with Amazon, I started off with retail arbitrage, which I kind of strongly advise against now, just for the mere fact that you can't get invoiced. And then from retail arbitrage, I started getting like liquidated stock from suppliers. Then from that, I started building up my list of suppliers and literally getting more and more suppliers and getting big enough to the extent where suppliers were now calling me. And I think one of the biggest orders that I put into one of my suppliers was around £32,000. And from then, it's like they're listening now because the money's just streamlining out of their ears. So then they started phoning me, and now it's like a supplier will phone me, I'll say whether I want it, don't want it, whether I want all of it or some of it, and I'll do it that way. So that's my journey in a nutshell. I came from debt, started going to suppliers, liquidated stores, and then branching up or adding onto my supplier list, and then having suppliers contact me. So if you haven't watched that video, click the description below and you'll be able to watch a video on how I made 6 figures, which breaks down my journey literally in a clip. Next question, mindset. So this is from Zane Meyer, I think. Zane Meyer. Mindset, staying committed when not seeing results straight away. I imagine she's asking me like, how do you, because on Instagram you have limited characters. So she's probably saying things like, how do you continue staying positive when you're not necessarily seeing results? And the way that I do that, because as you can imagine, like I start new business ventures alongside like on Amazon and on different businesses as well. How I stay motivated when I'm not seeing results is thinking about the end result. So what is it that I want and working myself backwards? So I am where I am now, but what would my future Shola look like and be successful? And I try to focus on that person. So for instance, if I'm starting like Amazon private label where I'm doing my own personal brand, what is my end goal? My end goal is to see my brand in John Lewis, in Tesco's, or is to see it in a flagship store. So if I want that, that's my end goal. So it's like I have to tunnel vision on that goal and stay motivated and make sure that I focus on that and I don't stop until I get that. And when I get that, I'll then think of something else or a new goal plan to keep me working to something else. Now, do I stay motivated all the time? No. Like, those of you that follow me on Instagram, if you don't, it's Shola Sells Online, but would know that there was a stage where I wasn't uploading as much. And that's because I'd lost motivation. I'd kind of had a tough 2021 and I could feel myself deteriorating. So I had to put things into place. So this notion of, you know, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to be motivated 24/7 is rubbish. Like, no one is motivated 24/7 and everyone does have down days. So on the days where you do fall low, think about, okay, cool, what can I do on this day that still will benefit my business or still will kind of push me closer to my goal without me having to work as hard or without me having to do loads, because today I'm not in the mood. Or if you're lucky enough to work for yourself and can just literally just not do anything on that day, don't do anything on that day. It's better to be in the right mind frame and do it with 100% than it is to do it with 2% and get 2% results or no results. It's just a waste of energy. So actually, do you know what? A good little analogy, not analogy, but a good thing that I can add in is that my personal trainer, when I train, I always want to go further and beyond than what I should. And she says, Shola, take a little break in between because you need the energy to come back up and do this exercise. And I'd rather you have the energy to do this exercise than stop now. Literally apply that to business. It's better that you take that break and come back with like energy and being motivated and have that like enthusiasm than it is to keep striving when you're basically half gone. So Zaima, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so now let's go into more business type questions. One of them is from Mima on Instagram, and she's asked me, do you take the images of your products to list on Amazon or get them from Google Images? Now with Amazon, I only sell things that are already listed on Amazon. So essentially all I do is scan the barcode, there's a video of me doing it, scan the barcode, check it on Amazon, and then I just list against that listing which already has the photos and already has the descriptions. Everything's basically already done for you. The only time I do have to take images is when I'm doing eBay because they don't already have the listing preset. But sometimes if the image is like copyright free, you can just go click list against, you can click on list this item and it will have the photos already there, and that's even on eBay as well. But on Amazon, as I said, the photos are there. Okay, so another question is from LHC Lifestyle, which says, elevating your circle, how are you finding like-minded people or your tribe? I don't have a tribe, first of all, but how do I find like-minded people? So for me, I literally reached out to people that I thought were doing well on Instagram, and if we click, we click. If we don't, then we don't. But that's one of the ways that I try to find people who are like-minded, is by seeing people who are on Instagram and seeing if I can connect with them. A lot of people would want to look for big booty hoes on Instagram, but I'm more like, let me look for someone that I can actually make to be friends with, who's also business minded, because being an entrepreneur is super, super lonely. So if you can find, you know, a group of friends along the way who are also entrepreneurial and boss girls or girl bosses, then connect with them. Reach out to them on Instagram, connect. I mean, I've made a WhatsApp group with 4 entrepreneurs, and 4 of them I met through Instagram. One of them I knew when I was growing up. So basically, I reached out to people on Instagram. I found like-minded people by seeing what they do on Instagram, you know, following them, liking what they do. If it's something I'm genuinely interested in, or even if it's not, but I think she's a girl boss and I want to have someone like that on my team or someone around me, I just reach out to them on Instagram. And if they respond, they respond. If they don't, they don't. But there's no harm in trying, because if they're really an entrepreneur, they'll understand how lonely it is being an entrepreneur, and then probably, providing you're not a bitch, will like welcome a new friend who's entrepreneurial. So this is a really good question. Now we're going to go into like the business questions, and this is from Harvey, and he says, which systems and software do you use to have your business as automated as possible? So one of the most crucial systems that I use is probably Slack. So I can communicate with different people on my team I can't talk today. I can talk to different people on my team about different things, and we have different channels which relate to different stuff. So there might be like a YouTube editor one, there might be like a social media influencer one, whatever it is that the team that they're working on, I can just literally talk to them through those channels and know that that message is specifically for that, and I can also see previous messages. Whereas when it's WhatsApp, it's confusing, I can miss a lot of messages. So Slack is definitely my number 1, not 2. Number 2 is definitely a Google Drive for my company, which has different folders. So one might be like Amazon, one might be content, one might be my personal brand, one might be my business brand, and there's different things in those folders or drives so that I can see exactly what bits are where and Are they in the right place, not in the right places, etc. Then the last platform I would say I use is Monday. And Monday not only helps for my business, but also helps me because it then shows me what things I need to do. So there's things that my team need to do, and there's also things that I need to do to make sure that I've done it, because when you're juggling so many things, it's so easy to just forget things that you actually have to do. So having Monday.com, where it's like, have you done it? Yeah. You know, my videographer or my video editor, have they done this, or are they working on it? I can just keep tabs on when things are getting done. I can set deadlines. It's just easy to just see things in bright colors because I'm very visual. I need to see colors and see what needs to be done and how it's going to get done. Okay, next question. So Miss IBS, I think. How do you decide on a storage place? So for me, initially, I just wanted something that was big, that could fit all of my stock. That was the thing that I said, okay, that is what I want. I very quickly realized that overheads is a real thing, and you want to keep your overheads as low as possible. So now I found more of a cost-effective way for me to basically store my pallets and storage units. So when you're looking at your storage unit, one of the things you need to think about is how much is that storage unit actually going to cost you? And is it the right size? So let's say, for instance, it's going to cost you £1,500, but it's not going to have enough space. Then you might say to yourself, okay, cool. Maybe it will be better to go for something which is a lot smaller so I can get more of them. For instance, a container. Containers are generally like better at storing or cheaper to store things in. And if you fill up a container, you can get another container, and they're going to be maybe half or a quarter of the price that you'd pay to actually have a storage facility within a company which has like 24-hour security, etc. So those are things that you need to consider. Another thing you need to consider is how far is that storage unit away from you? Are you doing it yourself? Because if you're traveling there every single day, you want something which is a maximum of 20 minutes away from where you currently are so that you can get there quickly. If you've got an order that needs to be shipped and there's no one to do it for you, you can rush over and get that done. And lastly, I would say, is the storage unit secure? So is there like a 24-hour security monitoring service, or do you have a ring light on there, or is there a secure gate? How do you know that your storage unit or your storage facility is secure? And that's another thing that is really, really important, to make sure that none of your stuff gets stolen, because it's hard times out here. People will steal if you give them an opportunity. Okay, next question. How to negotiate with suppliers. If you want to know how I negotiate with suppliers, my link is below where you can purchase my course, because I'm here for giving free content, but I'm not going to build your business for you, okay? And if you are, you're going to put something in my pocket too, because I feel like I do spit a lot of free game on YouTube already and Instagram. Okay, another question from Cynthia is, do your suppliers usually get their stock from inside or outside of the UK? So I'm not 100% sure if they get it from inside or outside the UK, because I'm not my supplier, and my supplier is probably not going to give me that information. But I do reckon that some of them are from inside of the UK and some are from outside, because sometimes the address that's on there is not a UK address. My supplier has literally slipped up sometimes and given me their supplier. But to be honest, I wouldn't be able to buy the quantity that my supplier buys anyway. So even with their supplier, it will be no use to me. Okay guys, I think that literally concludes all the questions. This was just a short get to know, couple of questions that you guys can ask me, and I've answered them. So yeah, I've answered a lot of your questions. If you enjoyed this, or you have some more questions that you want me to ask in another video, comment them below and I'll answer your questions in the next video. It might not be the next video, but I'll answer them in a video, and you guys can, have your own little session, your own little kind of conversation with me through the camera, like through the screens, like you asking me a question, I'm answering your question on the screen, so a little personal touch. And it's something a little bit different to what I normally do. So if you've enjoyed this, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, like, notification bell, comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is, just be honest about my videos. So yeah, also guys, how are you guys loving the setup? Is it good, not good? We got the lighting, all these new stuff, because I'm new. It wasn't New Year, new me, but I'm rebranded. I'm trying to look expensive now. So yeah, if you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. If you like my videos, subscribe so I can get monetized, because that's what your girl wants to do. But anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.